So I'm just about to get back on the bike here, and something I noticed while riding up here is it felt a bit smaller than it does usually. I'm talking about the bike, by the way. Roll the intro. So hey folks, hope you're all well. I'm just out taking advantage of summer today, since summer had buggered off for quite a while it seems, and now it's back again. Well, it is for today at least. So this is actually the first ride I've been out since the ABR festival. I was on a slightly bigger bike, test riding it at the ABR festival, hence maybe this feels a little smaller. And the bike I test rode, well, down there on a road ride, was a BMW F900 GS Adventure. And that was pretty nice. Quite impressed with it. Felt a little taller than this. I had a comfort seat on it, so I dare say if it had the low seat on it, or even the extra low seat, I would have been okay. Although I was okay. I had a full tank of fuel on board, so I felt the full mass of it, and it did feel a little bit heavier than this, I'll admit. Although I've heard people say recently that the F900 GS, not the Adventure, feels a bit lighter than this. But in my opinion, the F900 GS Adventure felt heavier than this. I think this has got an aluminium fuel tank on it, and on the current models, the F900s, they've got a plastic fuel tank. So there you go, piece of useless information. But no, the ABR, oh wow, it was amazing. Only a couple of negative things about it, mostly no phone connection, leading to no internet connection. So that was a bit weird in this day and age. I travelled down there with my mate John Miller and Haggis Whisperer Graham, and we'd arranged to meet up with people while we were there, but nothing set in stone sort of thing. But if we'd wanted to meet up with people well down there, it would have been a problem, I reckon. And I bet this happened to a few people. They would ride down there, tell their mates where they were in the vicinity. We'll get you at the main entrance, we'll get you somewhere specifically on site, whether it's at the bar or one of the bars or one of the food trailers, whatever. And they wouldn't have got them because there was no signal. But on a personal note, that didn't really affect me. I managed to keep in touch with the wife just by texting her. I would text her at night time, and somehow she wasn't getting it until the morning and stuff like that. But no biggie, no dramas while I was away, thankfully. Other than being sick in the middle of the bar area in one of these big blue bins. I just felt, I think I'm going to be sick. I just thought this to myself. Then one spew and back on it. So nothing like a little bit of public shame. Although it was that casual and quick, don't think anybody noticed. Maybe the guys that were standing with me at the time. So no, the ABR was amazing. I was really impressed with it. Amazed how quick the weekend flew in. We got down there on the Friday morning, late morning, early afternoon. Seemed to take us no time at all to get there in the van. When we set off for the first hour and a half maybe, it was windy as hell and a bit rainy as well. So we got to a point where we went, I think we've done the right thing here, lads, coming in the van, because that would have been a miserable start to the weekend. So while at the ABR, what can you do? Well, there's stalls everywhere that sell clothing and motorcycle gear, helmets, boots, anything, you know. There was, I think, pretty much all motorcycle manufacturers were there with demo bikes to admire and ride if you were up early enough to get your name down, which actually wasn't the case for us. Me and John Miller chanced it. Haggis didn't want to test ride anything, so he didn't even take his gear with him. So me and John Miller had intentions of trying a couple of bikes, but turns out we only actually got to test ride BMs. He'd a shot of an R1300 GS, and he wasn't very impressed, if I'm honest. He prefers his R1250, which is a 2020 model, I'm sure. So that saved him some money. He did see a nice Triumph Bonneville bobber. He was very interested in that. I was more blown away that it was, I think it was maybe 14,000 and the Rocket 3 was 24,000. There was a whole 10 grand of a difference. And I understand the Rocket 3 is a monster of a bike in a whole different league, maybe from the bobber. But I preferred the bobber myself. That's the one I would have went with. Just a good looking bike. It was in a really deep purple colour. It looked almost black. So at the night, during the day, wandered about basically, pretty much Friday and Saturday really. Checked out stalls. On the Saturday we went in to listen to one of the talks that was going on, and it was a guy, Chris somebody, and I didn't recognise him, and he was a dirt bike sort of guy, not really what I'm into in the slightest. And then after he was on, it was a woman, a lovely woman called Elspeth Beard, who was an inspiration, an icon. So she was now in her early 60s, maybe mid 60s, but not looking it obviously. She was the first woman to travel around the world on a motorcycle, and it was a BMW motorcycle at that. And she's got some stories to tell, goodness. She was an architect by trade, and since she's done that, her house that she lives in is an old water tower, I'm sure it was 5 or 6 stories, and wow, you should see this place. I'll put up a picture. But wow, what a woman. She created a set of luggage for her BMW. I think she actually made them herself. A very talented individual, so she is. And the size of the top box was unbelievable. It looked about 4 foot wide. And the size of her panniers were huge as well. But it's what she needed for her journey. So what a woman she was. I'm so glad I'd heard her talk. We pretty much heard it all actually. Then me and John had to go and check in with BMW Motorrad in order to go and test ride the bikes. So the test rides were about 40 minutes long. There was about maybe 20 odds, 2 dozen maybe, out on the test rides at the one time, all on pretty much all GSs or GSAs. And it was good. It was a good little ride out over a cool humpback bridge. I'd show you footage, but they wouldn't actually let me record, which I thought was bizarre. Like, why not? Who says I'm putting it on YouTube? Who says I'm just don't record for safety reasons, which is a reason why I do actually record every ride, as well as obviously getting content from it. So I think that's a weird one. I believe Honda didn't care if you recorded it or not, which was the case with another few manufacturers as well. I ideally wanted to get a shot of the new Enfield 450s, Himalayan. Who knew I was pronouncing it wrong all these years? It's supposedly pronounced Himalayan and not Himalayan. Who cares? But no, they were lovely. I was looking at them, and really nice looking bikes. I've already got my colour picked out. It would be the black with the yellow, although I think there was a grey and blue one that was really nice as well. Another bike I wanted to get a shot on was the Honda Transalp 750, and I didn't get a shot of that either. So I'll hopefully get a shot of them at a later date. So at the night time, even at the ABR, that's what I never mentioned, the entertainment was pretty good actually. It's quite hard, I imagine, to pick bands, tribute bands they all were, that suits everybody's tastes and needs, you know. So they had a bit of everything, from AC/DC to U2, with a bit of status quo in between. I wish I was there on the Thursday night, because there was an Oasis tribute band, and I love a bit of Oasis. Fantabulous, so they are. So they were. So all in all, would I go back again to the ABR? Definitely. And was it a bummer not going on a bike? Not really. Down to the sole reason that once you're there, you're walking everywhere. I thought you'd be riding about everywhere, riding about the site, you know, going from A to B, but no. Not the case. You're not allowed to ride in certain areas because there's people, which makes sense. Motorcycles are dangerous things, as are people. I wouldn't say definitely go on your bike if you stay within an hour or a couple hours, but we were 5+ hours from the location of Ragley Hall down in Warwickshire, and it would have been a bit of a trek, mostly, as I've said many a times in the past, on motorways the whole way really. So that's why I definitely wanted to test ride a bike while I was down there, or test ride some bikes, is because it's a bike festival. Got to have a shot of something, you know. So I chose to have a shot of something very similar to what I ride already, something I would be comfortable on, that I wouldn't make an arse of myself on mostly. So no, I enjoyed it. The F900 sounded a lot better than my F850. I've got the Acura slip-on as well. It had the standard can on it. It was in dynamic mode the whole time I was out on it. I'm in dynamic mode today for the first time. No peer pressure. I swear that guy didn't have gloves on there. Ouch. But the BMF 900 GSA is more than twice the price I paid for this bike. And is it twice the bike? Is it hell? So I'll just be sticking with this just now. I do, as I said, want to test ride a few things, but I've no intention to buy anything at the minute. I'm more than happy with this for now. And that's only, I think that was the end of February this year I got it, so it's due a semi-long term review very soon, in fact. So I'll leave you to this, folks. Peace out, take it easy, cheers for watching, take care.